Hi guys, so it's Sophia here and we're back with another episode of Creative Crafting. Because we're getting pretty close to October and October is kind of Halloween month, I thought we could make a little paper plate mummy. So what we're gonna need to do this is one paper plate. I have a kind of small one, but you could get bigger if you wanted to. A hole puncher, some googly eyes for the face, a black Sharpie or any black marker you have, some yarn for the wrappings, some scissors, and some glue. So, the first thing we're gonna do is make the mummy's face. So we're gonna take our googly eyes. You could do any size. I did kind of bigger ones so that you can see it better. And we're gonna take our glue and put a little dot of glue on the back of the googly eye. It'll be about that big, you don't need a lot, and then we'll press it onto the plate. I'm trying to do it towards the top of the plate so that I can leave room for my mouth that I'm gonna make pretty soon, but you can put it anywhere. We're just gonna do that to the other eye and place it on the other side. Okay, while that starts to dry, now we're gonna make our mouth. So what I'm gonna do and what I did on this one, I'm just gonna do kind of a half circle to kind of look like he's smiling, but you can make it different if you want, any kind of shape. And then once you get your outline, just color it in. Okay. Once we have our mouth done, we're gonna start making the hole punches that we're gonna thread the string through, or the yarn. So what I kind of did on this one was I left a little kind of gap so that you can see the eyes through it. You can do whatever you want. You can cover those if you want, but I'm gonna do it on mine just to show you how. So I'm gonna take my hole puncher and I'm gonna go just a little bit above the eyes up here, and I'm gonna make my first punch. Then I'm gonna come over to the other side and do the same thing in the same kind of area. They don't have to be exactly lined up because it doesn't have to be perfect, because if you think about it, a mummy's wrappings aren't usually perfect. And then I'm just gonna do a couple more holes at the top here. We don't wanna do all the way up to the top because then the wrapping will get really tight, and we wanna kind of make it look so it's look like it's wrapping across the face instead of just like looped at the top. So I'm gonna try and space them out a little bit so that it's easier to get it through. So I put about 4 on each side. You can do more or less if you want. And now I have to do the bottom half. So to keep the gap of the eyes so that we can look through it, I'm gonna start just a little bit below the eyes this time. And then I'll do that on the other side. And then I'll just keep going down for a little while. Kind of space them out a little bit more because down here we want it to look a little wider. Try to keep the number of holes you do even on each side too, so that you don't end up with a bunch of wrapping on one side, so that you're able to loop it across. So We have the same thing with the top part. We don't want to do it at the very bottom of the plate because then the wrapping will get too tight and it'll be difficult to wrap it across there. So 3, 6. I'll just do a couple more. Okay. Perfect. Now you can do any number of holes you want. I just did 4 at the top and 6 on the bottoms, and we'll see how that works. Now, excuse me, we're gonna take our string, wherever it starts, there we go, and we're gonna start threading it through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start through the bottom of this top hole on the bottom, and I'm gonna pull a bunch through because we're gonna need a lot to get the bottom part threaded. And then I'm gonna go straight into the hole across from it on the other side through the top this time. So we'll go like that and then pull it tight. Doesn't have to be really tight, but just kind of so that it's hanging there. And now we're gonna go across over the top to the next hole beneath the one we started with. Okay, so this is what we should have so far. And now you're gonna keep doing that same pattern across the hole beneath the one you just had string in, and keep going till we get to the bottom. So I'll just do that and I'll show you the finished product in a minute. So this is what I have so far. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this little bit at the end and I'm just gonna tie a little knot. You can get your parent or guardian to help you with this. And I'll tie it tight there, and then I'll just cut off the extra. There we go. Now I'm gonna do the same thing up here, except I'm gonna cut this off first. And I'm just gonna tie a little knot right up here with the string that I already have through it. Okay. If you want to double knot it, you can, but it should be tight enough that it'll stay. Okay, so this is what our bottom half looks like so far. Now we're gonna do the top. It's kind of the same thing, except this time I'm gonna start at the bottom of the holes that we punched. So, my string's kind of caught. There we go. Now I'm gonna pull a bunch out from our yarn ball, and I'm just gonna start through the bottom of this first hole, pull it all the way through, and then go through the top of the one across from it. Now I'll just do the same thing on the top, and I'll show you guys the finished product in a minute. Okay, so now I have it all the way threaded through. I'm gonna do the same thing I did on the bottom. I'm gonna just cut that off and tie a little knot. And cut off the excess. And then I'll do the same thing down here. Okay. Now we have our finished mummy. You can add any extra things you want to the face, like maybe some eyebrows or some teeth or something like that, but this is a pretty basic mummy that'll be great decoration as we get ready for Halloween. I hope you have fun making it. Bye guys.